So 1.19 was recently released, and with it, a brand new effect. This of course increases the difficulty of the hardest achievement in the game, How Did We Get Here, as now you need a Warden for the darkness effect, as well as the other mobs you needed previously. I've been trying to complete this advancement in my own survival world, and in doing so, I discovered many new methods to complete it faster and easier, which I have compiled here. So in this video, I will be showing you how to get the How Did We Get Here achievement in 1.19 without having to move an Elder Guardian, Wither Skeleton, or Pillager. Before I get into this, make sure to watch the full video before attempting to do this, as this is Minecraft's hardest achievement, so you should make sure you understand what to do before attempting. To better demonstrate this strategy, I've made myself a new creative world, and I'll be giving myself some basic tools and showing you guys how to get the achievement from there. So we're at world spawn of this new world right here. You can see it on my coordinates in the top left. And what you're going to want to do is find the closest ocean to spawn. And this is going to be where you're going to set up everything that you're going to use to get this achievement. So I found a spot with good ocean access. It's only about 500 blocks away in both the X and the Z direction. And keep in mind that if you're doing this on your own survival world, by now you'll probably know where the closest ocean is. And yeah, you're just going to want to go over here, and this will be the place where we're going to get the achievement. I'll explain why we needed a spot close to the ocean later, but for now, let's set up our first potion effects. So you're going to want to make a chest, and this chest will contain all the potions you'll need for later. So to start, these are going to be all the splash potions, which you're going to throw down at the start. So you're going to have poison, slowness, weakness, slow falling, jump boost, speed, invisibility, regeneration, strength, night vision, and water breathing. And you're going to want these all to be splash potions and all to be extended so they last as long as they can. And remember, you're just going to want to keep these up here until we go for the advancement later. The next thing you're going to want to have in the chest are the eatable items. And the first one of these is a notch apple. If you don't have one of these, you can substitute it with a golden apple, a resistance beacon, and a fire resistance potion, which would be a splash potion up here. But I'm going to assume you have one of these since you need it for the balanced diet achievement. And if you're going for How Did We Get Here, you probably should go for balanced diet as well if you're going for all the achievements. The other food you're going to need is a puffer fish. And then you're going to need a withering suspicious stew, which is the crafting recipe that I've given you here. And you're going to want a blindness suspicious stew. So just go ahead and craft these ingredients together to make these suspicious stews. So once you've crafted up the suspicious stew, the chest should be looking like this. And we're just going to leave it like this for a while we gather the other non-consumable potion effects. The next thing you're going to want to do is go over to the ocean, swim down a little bit, and create yourself a conduit. This will help you get the conduit power effect for later. Once fully powered, your conduit should look like this. The next thing you're going to want to do is set up a Haste Beacon nearby. Once your Haste Beacon is set up, it should be looking like this. The next step is to make a nether portal slightly further away than the beacon is, and this is what we're going to use to bring in other mobs later. Go through the nether portal you just made, and make sure to note the coordinates that you spawn in. So for me, this is 49, -39. So I'll want to remember that for later. The exact distance doesn't really matter, as long as it's not too close to the chest. And yeah, your setup should be looking roughly like this. The next thing you're going to want to do is find the closest unlooted ocean monument that still has Elder Guardians alive in it. For me, this only ended up being a few hundred blocks away, but here the distance does not matter. If you've looted all the ocean monuments in your world close to spawn, then you can go out and find a new one in an ocean far away, and it will still work for this. So once you've reached the ocean monument that you're going to use for this, you're going to want to make a portal right above the top of the ocean monument, and you're going to want to light it and step through. From here, using the coordinates of this portal, we're going to make a tunnel back to the original portal where we'll be getting the achievement. So as an example, this is the tunnel I made. Remember that it doesn't need to always be a tunnel. If there's an open space like this, you can always fly through it. And yeah, my portal's right there since this monument wasn't very far away. But if yours is farther away, just make sure you have a clear path that you can get back to this portal quickly. But it doesn't need to be a full enclosed path like this, because we're not going to be moving the Elder Guardian through the nether. So once you've done that, you're going to want to do that again, but this time with the nearest pillager outpost. So I'm going to go looking for a pillager outpost and tell you guys when I find one. And yet again, as you can see from my coordinates, I found what I need pretty close to spawn here. So I'm just going to want to make another portal here and make another tunnel through the nether back to my original portal spot. So the portal at the Pillager Outpost has brought me up here, and yet again, we're just going to make a path back to the main portal, and we're not going to be moving mobs through this. So just make a path that'll let you get there in the most efficient way possible. As you can see, my main portal's down there, so I can probably just fly down in this instance. But the key here is going to be making sure that when you're getting the achievement, you're going to be able to move from this portal to that portal to the Ocean Monument portal very quickly. And now the next step is to find an ancient city, because we're going to need to bring a Warden here. Unlike the other two portals we've made where we're not going to be moving mobs from them, this time we've got to bring a Warden all the way here, which could be quite difficult, but I'm going to show you guys an easy way to do that. So I've located myself an ancient city. You don't need to use an ancient city for this. You could just use a regular deep dark biome, but I've decided I'm going to use the ancient city for this. And if you don't know how to find an ancient city, I do have another tutorial on my channel for that, so I'm not going to go over that again. But yeah, once you found it, you're just going to want to find a spot where you can see a Shrieker, as I can see one over there. But there's not too much Skulk around me, so this will be a safe area to set some things up. So the first thing you want to do is actually you're going to want to make a portal. I thought we were done with these. Turns out we're not yet. So you're just going to want to make a simple portal like the one that you would go through. Just like this. It doesn't need to be any bigger. The Warden will actually be able to fit through this. Once you've come through the other side, just like the other portals, you're going to want to make a tunnel back. But this one has to be fully self-contained because we're going to be using this to transport a Warden later. So I've made a tunnel between the two portals here, as you can see. How many blocks you put on the side really just depends on how comfortable you are facing off against the Warden. If you think you can outrun it and use your Elytra and Fireworks to stay just enough ahead of it that it can't reach you with its attacks, feel free to not put as many blocks on the side here. But if you want to make sure that the Warden can't get out, you could cover all the walls. Another important thing to note is that you have to dig through terrain. You're going to want to make sure that it's 3 high, because the Warden is 3 blocks tall. And if you can see, if I had it 2 blocks tall here, the Warden would not be able to fit through. So just make sure your tunnel looks like this, and it should be ready to bring a Warden through. The next step is to prepare an area for the Warden to go once you've brought it back to this main area. To do that, we're going to want to go far away from this portal in the opposite direction of the ocean. So I'm going to go up here on this hill. It doesn't have to be too far away, maybe like 20 to 30 blocks should do it. So this area looks like a good spot to set it up. So what you want to set up is something like this. Make a short staircase coming off the ground, and then do this with the trapdoors. And this will actually make it so that the Warden thinks that it can walk across this to get to me, but actually it'll just fall in this hole. And we're just going to leave it in this hole away from that area because we're going to be bringing mobs to that area later, and we don't want the Warden to kill them. And we also don't want the darkness effect, so we're just going to leave the Warden here until we need it for later. So we're back in the ancient city. I've equipped the Totem of Undying for safety, as now's the time where we're going to bring the Warden through the portal. Before we do that though, we're going to want to make a name tag, and I'm just going to name this Warden. And we are going to want to put this on the Warden to make sure that it doesn't despawn. So we have everything that we need now. I've equipped my rockets and my hotbar in case I need to make a quick getaway. The Skulk Shrieker is up ahead. I'm going to trigger it a few times, pop the name tag on the Warden, then run back and hopefully bait the Warden into this portal. Alright, we have 3 strikes on the Skulk sensors now. That means that this next jump should spawn a Warden. And yeah, we're going to have to act really fast here. So here we go. Trigger it. I was crouching. We've triggered it now. Please spawn around here. Don't spawn up there. That would be really unfortunate. I hear it. Name tag it. I named it. Run, run, run. We need to bring it through the portal. Okay, it sees us. I should have brought snowballs for this. Okay, yep. It hears me. It's coming closer. It definitely hears me. I've got my rockets in case I need to get away. I don't actually see it. Okay, it's right there. Bring it towards the portal. Just hide behind the portal. It'll walk straight through. No, I think it's losing track of me now. Nope, it hears. Oh, it's charging up. Okay, hopefully it doesn't do a sonic boom. It's charging. Go straight through the portal. Straight through. Nope, don't get stuck on the lava. Straight through the portal. And it's through. We've done it. And it shouldn't despawn because we've named it now. So, you could risk going through this portal now, but I think that if I did this, I would get instantly destroyed by the Warden. So I'm actually going to take the long way home now. I'm going to fly back through the overworld, back to the spot where we'll be getting the achievement, take that portal, and follow that nether tunnel back to where the Warden should be for safety. I've made my way back, and now I'm taking the nether tunnel that I've made to where the Warden will be. We're getting pretty close here. I've also gotten myself snowballs. I should have had them earlier. I didn't really need them, but it's better to be safe than sorry, as we can use these to distract the Warden if it does aggro on us. But yeah, the Warden should be just up ahead here. Oh, in fact, I see it. Oh, it's charging straight towards me. Oh, that's actually quite terrifying. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, we can stay ahead of it. I didn't expect it to be this close. Is it aggroed on the Enderman or me? We can always just stay ahead of it like we are here, and we can use a firework rocket if it gets too close. Actually, I might have to start sprinting here. It's getting quite close. Luckily, our path isn't too long, so if your path is longer, you might have to deal with this terror for a lot longer. But yeah, I'm just going to keep bringing this back towards my spawn. Alright, the Warden has now gone through the portal, so it should be on the other side here. I'm going to go through and then instantly fly away with rockets so I don't get instantly destroyed. And let's see, I hear it. It's definitely doing something. And fly away. Great. Okay, so it's there. And now we can just wait for this blindness to wear off before we go back. Alright, we're taking it up from above here. I see the Warden. It's right by the portal. We're going to land a little bit past it over here. Hopefully throw a snowball or two and then bring it over here. Okay, that's one. Didn't hear that one. Maybe that one? Okay, it's getting a bit too far away here, so we're going to run up a little bit more. It heard that one. Okay, yep, it's definitely onto me. Maybe set up a firework or two. Just anything you can do to bring it over here. It's definitely smelling me out here. Maybe if I throw a couple more snowballs. I don't want to overdo it. But yeah, you're just going to want to bring the Warden over to this thing over there. It's triggered the darkness effect. This is quite scary. Luckily, I do remember where I built that cobblestone structure. It's hard to tell how close it is. Oh, it's literally right there. It's literally right there. Okay. We're super close to this thing now, though. It just needs to go a little bit further. The Warden's on me, though. It's right there. How much closer can we bring it before it starts getting annoyed? Oh, it's doing the thing. It's getting annoyed. It is going to do the charge attack. Okay, we're going to walk on this little bridge here. Hopefully. Oh, yep, it's right there. It's right there. And run straight into the hole. Straight into the hole. And it's in there. Great. So we're just going to leave it in there. Fly away before it can attack us. And yeah, we're just going to leave it in there until we need to bring it closer here when we're closer towards getting the achievement. But for now, it can stay over there where it can't mess with us while we work on bringing the other things here that we'll need for this achievement. Well, the good thing about bringing in the Warden is now this next step is going to seem much easier by comparison. So what we're going to want to do is make a glass cage around this water, and we're going to be bringing a Dolphin in later. So the exact dimensions of the area we're going to put the Dolphin don't really matter, as long as there's water and air inside, and we can just break ourselves a little entrance here. And now we just need to bring a Dolphin into here. Also, the glass doesn't really matter either. You can use any block here, but I use glass just so we're going to be able to look in and see the Dolphin. So you might be thinking that bringing a Dolphin in here could be quite hard to do, but it's not going to be that bad, actually. We're just going to want to break a little hole in this glass here, and we're going to want to make sure this water pool is connected up to the larger ocean. And then we just need to find a Dolphin, put it on a lead, and bring it in. So I found a Dolphin over there. As you can see, it's not too far away. And this is why we needed an ocean, because bringing a Dolphin over long distances, unlike a Warden, these things need water to survive, which makes it much harder to transport it, as you can't use the nether or anything. So we're just going to attach a lead to it and bring it over to our cage. So we brought the Dolphin over here. That didn't take too long, and we're just going to swim through here and see if it'll follow us in. If not, we could break a little bit more glass, but nope, it's followed us straight in. And we're just going to seal this up and leave it in here for now. Similar to the Warden, to make sure the Dolphin doesn't despawn, you're going to want to rename it, get a name tag, name it to something. It doesn't matter what you name it. And just attach it to the Dolphin to make sure that it doesn't despawn. And then in the hole you made earlier, just put 2 fence gates. And that's all we need to do for the Dolphin. So the next effect we need is from a Shulker, and we're going to want to head over to the end to do that. Once you've reached the outer end islands, you're going to want to look for an end city that's close to one of these things. Now this is the one I came through to get here, and there might not be an end city close by. And it doesn't matter how far away the end city is from our original one of these, as long as you can find an end city close to one of these end gateways. So after quite a lot of searching, I managed to find an end city very close to an end gateway. Now you might not always find one as close as this. It could take a bit of searching. But once you find one at least semi-close, you're going to want to head over to the end city. And once you've reached the end city, you're going to want to look for a Shulker that's separated from all the other ones. And as I can see, this Shulker is pretty separate. I don't see any other Shulkers around. So I'm going to want to take a potion of invisibility. This will prevent the Shulker from shooting at me while I'm trying to transport it. And I've also got a boat, which we're going to place the Shulker in. So I'm going to take the potion of invisibility. We don't need that anymore. Gather the rockets. Go in. We're going to want to take our armor off as well. Oh, there's another Shulker in here. Forgot to take my armor off, so it won't be able to see me. Then we're just going to build up like this. We don't need the elytra anymore. And now it can't see us. We're going to place the boat, and we've got the shulker in the boat like this. Now the next step is to just make a path all the way from the end city to the end gateway over there. So I'm going to go do that right now. So I've created a pathway, as you can see here. It only needs to be 1 wide because a boat can fit on a 1 wide space. And you're going to want to bring it directly over the end gateway. As you can see, I've placed some cobblestone down there, level with the actual portal part. So it's placed next to the bedrock over there. And we're just going to drive the boat off of this and land it down there. And since boats don't take fall damage, we should be fine. Just make sure you've lined up the bridge up here, the one down there, so you don't miss and end up on the end stone below. Before we bring the shulker, though, you're going to want to go through the end gateway and find out where it links up. Now, it could link up to your spawn point where you first entered the end, or it could link up to one of these gateways. And if it links up to one of the gateways, make sure to put some blocks around it so that when you go through, you just won't fall into the void. So we've gone back to the end city. We're just going to want to get in the boat with the shulker and drive on this platform. And now this is the part where we'd want the end gateway to be closer. And the end gateway being closer here would make this task a lot shorter. But yeah, it still shouldn't take too long to get it over there. And yes, even with invisibility, it still can see you if you're in the same boat as it. But it can't actually break the boat. It'll try to shoot projectiles at you like this, and they'll go back and hit the boat and shake it a bit, but it can't shoot them fast enough to actually break the boat, so you don't have to worry about the boat breaking on you. Another thing to note is that even though it's hard for the shulker to hit you, it can still sometimes accidentally hit itself. And if you hear that, you're just going to want to have a splash potion of healing. Just look straight up, throw it up, and that should heal the shulker. And as you can see, it just hit itself again. So you're going to want to keep doing that as you bring it along the bridge. So we've brought the shulker in a boat here, and yeah, this journey didn't take much longer than a minute. So it's okay if you can find an end gateway that's further away from an end city like this, but this just made it convenient to bring it here very quickly. So we've reached the end of the bridge here. The platform is right below us, so we're just going to drive off and carefully land on it, and now we're here. Next thing you're going to want to do is drive with the shulker directly into this portal. And as you can see, it has brought me through the other side back to the main end island. Once the shulker is through, you're going to want to make a path from wherever it spawned directly to the end portal over here. And as you can see, I've raised the ground up just a little bit because we want the shulker to end up level with the bedrock here. So I'm just going to do the similar thing that I did in the end city and boat it over and drop it down here. And if it did spawn on that obsidian platform where you normally enter the end from, you're just going to want to make a minecart track and bring it up to here. Either way, the purpose is the same. We want to get the shulker from here down to right next to the portal. So I've brought the shulker all the way now, and I'm just going to want to drop down right next to the portal so I'm level with it. And then I'm just going to want to drive the shulker directly into the portal and then get out of the boat. And yeah, this will bring me back to my spawn point, but from there you're just going to want to go back to the end dimension. But once you've made it back to the end, you're going to want to walk up to the shulker, and I'd recommend having invisibility for this part. Hit F3 and B to turn on hitboxes, and aim for the boat but not for the shulker. So as you can see here, I'm aiming because I know the boat is going to be right here, but the shulker is here, so just make sure not to hit the shulker here. And if you hit the boat, the shulker should go through the portal, and then you're just going to want to follow it through. Now, I have ended up on my spawn point, which is near the area where we'll be getting the achievement, but the shulker is actually going to go to world spawn. Now, this should be close to 0, 0 on your coordinates menu, but it's wherever you spawned when you first started this world. So you're going to want to head over there and pick up your shulker. So once you've gone back to world spawn, like I have, as you can see from my coordinates, I'm pretty close to 0, 0. That should be around 0, 0 over there. Your spawn point in the world may not be exactly 0, 0, but it's usually around that area, so if you've forgotten, that's a good spot to check. And once you've found your shulker, you have a variety of choices on how you want to get it back to the area where you'll be getting the achievement. If there's a lot of water like there is here, you could take it in a boat and bring it there, or you could put it in a minecart and make a minecart track all the way to that other area. The choice is really up to you. This part shouldn't be too difficult. Just remember, if the shulker gets damaged, throw healing potions at it to regain its health. So using a combination of the boat and minecart method, I've managed to get the shulker all the way back to this spot here. And what you're going to want to do is get it in a boat or a minecart, doesn't really matter here, and position it so it's directly in line with the gates that you've made into the dolphin spot. I'm a little bit off center here, so I'm going to want to turn it a little bit. And as you can see, I'm perfectly in line now. So once you're going to do that, you're just going to want to break the boat. And it's actually hit me with levitation here, so I can't break the boat. But once the levitation wears off, I will break the boat, and it should appear right next to the gates. So now that it's in line with the fence gate, I'm just going to walk up, break the boat, careful not to hit the shulker, and see it ended up just in line with the fence gate. Now you're going to want to take some glass and put a box around the shulker like this, being careful not to get hit. Once your shulker is boxed up in glass, it should be looking like this. The next thing you'll want to do is to create a 1-block wide hall that connects the fence gate and the shulker. Once you've created your tunnel, it should look like this. There should be an opening here that moves forward until it intersects with the shulker, which should have an open line of sight to you, and the fence gate over here. And leave one space in front of this path because we're going to be adding something there later. So what you're going to want to add at the end of the hallway is first place a solid block, then place a dispenser on that, place a button below the dispenser, and place some spectral arrows inside the dispenser. And this is how we're going to get the spectral arrow effect. The last thing we're going to need to do for this tunnel section is to open the fence gates to where the dolphin is. And you're going to want to place a bucket of water up here like this. Once that's all done, it should be looking like this, and you can go ahead and open up this tunnel back to the shulker again. And we've actually reached the final step here. The last step is to bring the Warden, which we've stored over there, closer to this area. To do that, you're going to want to create an area made out of wool, only a few blocks away from the edge of the dolphin enclosure. And you're going to want to make a similar trap to what we did when we first trapped the Warden over there. So later we're going to go break the Warden out of its cage. It's going to chase us all the way down here. You're going to want to lead it down away from these mobs so it doesn't target them and kill them. And it should fall into this wool box down here. However, to make sure that the Warden doesn't go after the dolphin or the shulker, we're going to want to drop it inside the cage that we've made for the Warden and make a simple redstone machine. So we're going to want to place one observer facing into this cobblestone, break the cobblestone, and place... Oops, I messed it up a little bit. You're going to want to get the right angle so you can place the observer facing into that one and place the piston on top of it. Now this will make a very loud noise machine, and this will actually distract the Warden. So once the Warden falls in here after it's been chasing you and you fly away, the Warden will remain glued onto this thing, and it'll just keep staring at this and trying to attack this as the source of noise rather than going after the dolphin or the shulker. So now it's time to break the Warden out of its cage. As you can see, I've made a wool wall here. And this should hopefully make it so that when the Warden gets close to this area, it won't lose target of me and try to go after the dolphin or the shulker. And yeah, you could make this wool wall all the way to where the Warden is kept if you don't feel as comfortable bringing it in here. But I think I can handle the Warden decently well and make sure it stays aggroed on me. So I'm only going to build it about this far. You can go a lot further if you want to. So I can see the Warden up ahead here. I'm just going to want to run up quickly. It's given me the darkness effect. Just break it away out so the Warden can actually get out of there now. Let's see if it actually decides to leave. We might have to break this one, and it's going to try to attack me now. It should be right on me now. Is it charging? I can hear it moving. Yep, it's running right there. So we're going to want to bring it around. Oh, make sure to stay away from all the other mobs. It's right behind me, isn't it? It's right there. Yep, it's looming out of the fog. It's going to sonic boom me. That's fine. We have enough health to stay away from it. Make sure to stay on this side of the wool wall. It's still after me. I can hear my piston down there. Okay, let's hope it charges straight up. Yep, it's right there. And it knocked me off a little bit, but it should still go in there. And as you can see, it wandered straight in and it focused straight on that noise machine. And yeah, I did actually end up dying there, so maybe I should have equipped a totem or something like that. The Warden can be quite dangerous, but luckily it did end up in its spot. It didn't end up killing the dolphin or anything. And yeah, that worked out pretty well. See, we can go as close to the Warden as we want, and it won't even try to attack us, because all its attention is focused on that piston. So, we've done it. Everything's in place now in order for us to get the achievement. And now we're actually going to need to apply all the effects in a certain order to make sure we can get the achievement as easily as possible. So, on the day that you're ready to get the achievement, you're just going to want to follow what I'm doing now. So the first step on the day that you're going to get the achievement is to head over to the pillager outpost you found earlier and look for a pillager with a banner on top of its head and kill it to get Bad Omen. So I found a pillager with a banner on its head over there, and we're just gonna kill it in order to get the Bad Omen effect, and we have got Bad Omen. So once you've got Bad Omen, you're gonna want to go to the nearest village, start a raid, and complete it in order to get the Hero of the Village effect. So only one pillager remains in the raid, and it's down here, and once I've killed this pillager, I'll get the Hero of the Village effect. And we should have gotten it here. Is the raid complete? The raid is complete, and we have the Hero of the Village effect, which is the first effect that we'll need to get the achievement. So once you have Hero of the Village, you're going to want to go back to the Pillager Outpost and kill another banner person in order to get Bad Omen again. So I just killed another banner person and got Bad Omen again, and now we have 2 of the effects we'll need. So we'll want to go through this portal and head over to the Ocean Monument. So we're at the portal to the Ocean Monument, and once you enter this portal, this is when your timer will begin. Now, Hero of the Village and Bad Omens, you can see they last forever. You don't need to worry about those expiring while you're going for this achievement. But Mining Fatigue, that only lasts 5 minutes. Once you enter that portal and get Mining Fatigue, you have 5 minutes to complete the rest of this achievement. So you're going to want to do a few things before you go into the portal. And you're just going to want to make sure you're hungry. As you can see, I have about 4 hunger haunches missing. Because once you get back to the main area, we'll be getting the achievement. There's going to be a couple food items you're going to have to eat. And you don't want to have to waste time getting hungry there, because those 5 minutes will be ticking. So I think we just got to enter this portal now and get Mining Fatigue. So it is now time. We're going to head through the portal, and we're going to want to get the effect from the Elder Guardian. And the second we get this effect, we're going to want to run back straight through to the other side of this portal and back to the main area where we'll be getting the achievement. Alright, we just got the Elder Guardian effect, so that means we've got to hurry now because our 5-minute timer has started. So we're going to want to head through this portal and locate the tunnel that we created earlier. Luckily, ours was super close to our original portal, so it doesn't take long at all. But remember, you've got 5 minutes in case your portal is further away. We're going to want to head through this portal here, and then we're going to want to make our way to the chest with the potions and food inside of it. Alright, now we're going to want to run down to the chest over here super quickly. I'm going over to it, and we're going to want to clear our inventory of everything except the blocks, take off our elytra because that'll mess something up later, and grab all the potions out of this chest, throw them down at our feet like I'm doing now. Oh, I missed one. I can go back to it though. And throw all of these ones. Grab all the food items. I can want to sort those like this. Eat the enchanted golden apple. Run up here. We're going to want to get hit by the shulker. Come on, shulker, hit me while you do that. I'm going to eat the pufferfish. Come on, shulker. What are you waiting for? This is the time, okay? Hit that. Swim down. Eat this. Eat this. Come on, come on. Is this it? And I got it! We did it! Oh my god, that was so stressful. We've done it! We absolutely nailed that! Oh, that went so well. I couldn't have asked for a better run myself. Oh, that was so great. Minecraft's hardest achievement, everyone. We've done it. I'm taking a screenshot. That's just impressive. So thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and this did help you get the achievement, I would really appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribed to this channel. And make sure to comment below any other tutorials you'd like to see on this channel. And yeah, I'd really appreciate that because this may have been the hardest video I've ever had to make. Over 6 hours of raw footage went into making this video, and that's not even accounting for the editing I'm going to have to do now, and the time I spent planning this video. So yeah, I'd really appreciate if you did that. But that's all I've got for you today, so until next time, goodbye.